Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night time, wherever and whenever you may be watching this video. As you can tell from the title, today's video is going to be about... Does it say it? It doesn't even say it. Today's video is going to be about Dua Fragrance's Holy Grail. I wish I had a sound effect then, so it'd be like... Ah. Oh, I wish you could smell what's coming off this box right now. Ooh. So guys and gals, if you clicked on the video, the likelihood is that you know of this fragrance, Holy Grail, or at least the company that made it, Dua Fragrances. This one right here, Holy Grail, is a clone, and the reason it's called Holy Grail is because it's a clone of what is considered the best iris of all time. If you go on Dua Fragrances website, you can see the story and what it's a clone of and what they're going for with that. So, ooh, there's a big old mist. This perfume, this fragrance, this, as I want to keep calling it, Holy Grail. If you don't listen to Jay-Z, that won't mean anything to you. Holy Grail. Okay. That sound and that reaction of it, that isn't me saying that it's an off-putting smell to me. That is purely coming from the power that comes from this fragrance, the blast of fragrance that is coming from this. I'm gonna come back after 10 seconds. Just give me 10 seconds, yeah. Okay, guys, this perfume. I think I'm ready now. I think I'm right. No jokes. This is very strong, okay, and it will fill a room. I'd go as far as to say it could fill a house. This is fresh. This is almost invigorating. As I said earlier, you know, I recommend you to go on to Dua Fragrance's website to check that story about what this is a clone of, but also to look through the notes, because there's a long list of notes there. Off the top of my head, I know there was peach in the top, perhaps bergamot, and then you've got the iris, and you've got like orris butter, and I'm sure there's like perhaps rose or Turkish rose, and things like that going on. So, Holy Grail, the main note in this fragrance, and I think the sort of flower, I don't know if you can see at the top of the emblem there, is iris. That's the star player. That's what this perfume is showcasing, okay? Now, just to quickly say, I thought that I loved iris. I thought that I knew what iris was. And my experience with iris was just mainly in the Dior Homme fragrances. Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Eau. I just loved them, and I was like, oh yeah, that iris, that lipsticky vibe. This doesn't remind me of any fragrance that I've smelled before. This doesn't smell like a designer fragrance. This doesn't smell... I'm tempted to say it doesn't smell mass appealing. It doesn't smell like a designer, you know, like everyone else is going to wear it. But that's not saying it's bad. My point in saying that is, I think this is going to be for the people who are fans of perfume. You know, I think this is going to be not a daring scent, but I think this is going to be... It just, like I said, it showcases iris more than anything else. And it does a wonderful job. I'm a postman. That's my main job. And I've been through, you know, I go through people's gardens to get to their doors. And occasionally, this reminds me of walking through someone's garden, because I do quite like a rural round. So people who are into their gardening, flowers and whatnot. And some gardens I walk through, and it smells like exactly like this. It's just got... It's hard to explain because, like, you know, I've smelled floral fragrances, but they're done in a designer way. And so it doesn't smell floral. It smells... Oh, it smells bloody lovely. God, that was British of me. It smells bloody lovely. It smells buttery and creamy with a very soft spice. Very soft, but like just a very creamy, buttery, like it reminds me a little bit of Parma Violets as well. And whether that's just something that's given off because of this purple, I'm not too sure. It reminds me a lot, now that I'm thinking of it, of the sweet Again, it's a British sweet. I don't know if you get it in America, but Palmer Violet's the little discs. That's what I'm getting a lot of with this. And as I said before, it lasts. It lasts forever and a day. That's the best. That's the best way I can think to describe it at the minute, guys. Is you're gonna get that violet, that creamy violet, and I guess iris, but I can't compare it to any of the iris fragrance I've smelled before. It is one of the more expensive duo fragrances. So it could be worth getting a sample of it beforehand, because again, I don't think it's going to be for everybody's liking. I know a lot of people have mentioned this on Dua's website, that, you know, could it be worth going into making candles and room sprays and things like this. This would destroy as a candle, in my opinion. This would be bonkers. Because of how strong it is, I know that even 30 mils, which is what this is, straight to parfum, this would take me probably years to go through. I think it's versatile enough to work in all seasons. I can't imagine it shining more so in certain seasons. Perhaps you could argue spring, just because it's more floral and more things are coming into blossom then. But it's powerful enough, and like I said, there's that Palmer Violet thing going on that gives it a depth that I think could work enough in colder weather as well. I really like this fragrance. It's the best performing fragrance that I've ever owned. If you guys know it, if you've smelled of it, that's like a different way of saying if you've heard of it. If you've smelled of it, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think. See you in a bit, guys. Peace!